Here we go. The Ironman 70.3 Oceanside course breakdown. This will be relatively quick. We'll go over some key points, some things that I've learned over the years from doing this race. And who am I? Well, I am BJ Gumkowski, the head coach at YogiTriathlete, and have been in the sport for over 20 years. This will be my fifth Oceanside, and it is one, if not the best 70.3 that I have raced on. There's something about this course, the energy there, the atmosphere, just the vibe you get. It's challenging, it's rewarding, it's all the things, and it's literally 3 miles up the road from where we are living in Carlsbad, California. So I do get to run the course often and a little bit of the bike course. Of course, most of it's closed off most times. But we get that special day on race day where we get to get into those amazing hills and that epic scenery on the backside of the course on Camp Pendleton, which is so beautiful. So let's start it and get right to it. Swim. Um, yeah, it's going to be cold. It is a cooler swim, 59 degrees, 60 degrees. It says here 60. You know, temperature is just a number. It is something that I hear a lot of athletes talk about, and you want to be prepared, absolutely be prepared, but also what we focus on will expand. So if we believe it's going to be super cold, then it will be super cold. We need to always, and this is a big part of what Yogi Triathlete does, is manage the mind. What are the stories we tell ourselves? What are we focusing on? And where is our attention uh, really focused on? We need to move it or shift it into what we want. And that's not to say, I want it to be an 80-degree swim. It's just, yeah, it's cold. So what? Move on. What are the things I need to do? Wear a wetsuit, stand in line with socks on as you're waiting for your wave to go, and pour water down your wetsuit and breathe. Do some breathing exercises. We have plenty of them on the Yogi Triathlete website, which sort of primes you to be calm and then go have an experience. Go celebrate your day. So the swim. Let's start with the swim. All right, it's 1.2 miles, of course. Here is the breakdown of the swim. Race morning, you're going to get into transition. I recommend getting there really, really early. As soon as they open, you get access to the porta johns. It's easier. You can go put all your stuff by your bike because it's not an Ironman, it's a half Ironman. So everything gets put right next to your bike like you would in a traditional triathlon. And then do your breathing exercises, step away from the energy once you're all set up. And then as they begin to close transition, you want to get over into the corrals. So what I recommend is as soon as you get all set up, about 30 to 40 minutes before you're going to leave transition, get in a nice warm up. So I put my wetsuit on, run around the transition 3 or 4 times. I'll wear my sneakers, not the sneakers I'm going to race in, but other pair of sneakers. And then I'm taking my morning clothes bag with me as I leave transition. And that will have all the clothes in it that I will need once I finish the race because the finish happens at the pier, which is separate from here in the harbor. And it's about a mile walk to get there. So I want to hang out at the finish to see our athletes finish, cheer people on. And I don't quite want to go back and get all my clothes. So when I leave transition in the morning, I've got my wetsuit on, I've got sneakers on, and I've got my morning clothes bag. And in that morning clothes bag is my phone, my jacket, a pair of shorts, some socks, an extra coat, and I think that's pretty much it. And then I put all that into the morning clothes bag. I drop that at the morning clothes drop, which is right around here. So if we start the swim here, opposite that is a palm tree. And last year they had the drop bags right here. So I'll walk over here, drop my morning clothes bag. I still have my wetsuit on. I then take off my sneakers because I'm done with my run. And I'm going to put my sneakers in that morning clothes bag to get those back at the finish. And I'm going to keep my socks on because those socks I'm going to keep on to keep my feet warm as I'm standing on the concrete over here before we start. And it could be anywhere from 15 to 45 minutes you're waiting in that line. And if you're bare feet, it's certainly going to add to the cold. So I recommend wearing socks that you can then take off and leave here as you go into your corral. There's just a pile of clothes on the side. Um, so yeah, I will stand in line there, and you start here. Let's see if I can. Oh, I can zoom in. Cool. You're going to start on this right side, so you're not going to be able to get into the water early on. And if they do allow you to, the water's cold enough where I would say I would recommend not doing it. I would instead do the pre-race pranayama breathing exercise that we have on the Yogi Triathlete website as it primes your system to get amped up, like expand your lungs. I guess amped is the wrong word. Expand your lungs, feel that you have the ability to catch a breath, and it allows you to be in calm. So as you breathe out, that parasympathetic nervous system really tapping into that, finding calm when the energy around you is rising up. So that's what I recommend. And then a few jumping jacks, I think is always helpful. But remember, you already ran inside transition, so you've got your heart rate elevated. Really, it's about how can you focus on finding calm. And I'm adamant about bringing all your awareness to that. Even the word calm, see it in bright lights. You want to be calm. So as you get into line, every 5 seconds, they're going to release 5 to 7 swimmers, depending on how many corrals they have. I can't remember. And then you walk your way down the ramp into the water. You're going to turn at that first buoy, take a left, swim all the way down. Here's where all the sea lions hang out. So you can actually pass them. There's a buoy here. You can see at all these turns, there's probably a buoy. So keep the buoys on your left. You're going to make that big turn on the outside, almost to the outside of the jetty there. And you're going to turn back. And this is can be kind of tricky. It's kind of choppy, even if there aren't huge waves. And then you're going to take that left turn in the final buoy to come back, and buoys now will be on your left. It's very, very important. There's one key buoy, I think it's this one right here, where now you're coming back. The sun is over here. So it's going to be in your eyes on the way back, and it looks like it's going to be a sunny day. So you need to hit this buoy. You cannot swim, you cannot miss it. There's actually last year, I almost missed it. There's kayakers here, which will force you to go that way. So just pay attention and sight often. I recommend every 4 to 6 strokes at least. Head in. Buoys now are on your right, and then on your right, just to make sure that you don't come too close to here. And then straight in. And this is where, again, you're going to see a lot of people, a lot of congestion. So the most important thing is to keep moving forward in a straight line. Keep moving forward. Don't breaststroke. Just keep swimming forward. If you've lost sight and you can't see a buoy, just follow the people in front of you. Follow the feet in front of you. Uh, you're going to come around here to the final push, up the other boat ramp, and you're going to run all the way around down here, hugging the edge. I think you go all the way down to here, or is it right here? I think you go all the way down to here to the end. And then they make everybody run the same distance. So you come all the way down here, and then you run all the way back into transition. I don't know if there's wetsuit peelers. If they are, they're usually here. Otherwise, you are responsible for taking off your wetsuit yourself. Run into transition. Oh, as far as goggles, clear or tinted. It's going to be sunny early. I don't foresee it being cloudy, but it could be a little bit cloudy or overcast in the morning sometimes, and then the sun comes up. I have recently been going with clear no matter what. I can breathe to both sides. If I sight and I don't see it, I can sight again, and I feel comfortable doing that. If you don't feel comfortable looking into the sun or you only breathe to one side, you may want to use smoke or tinted goggle. Um, so yeah, so then you come into transition, drop all your stuff here, and then run or get your bike and out on the bike. It's going to be high 40s, low 50s to start the bike. And in the past few years, I have only gone with gloves, my race kit, which is a Zoot kit, long, short sleeve up to the elbow here. And then I'll have toe covers on my shoes already, and they'll be strapped to the bike. So I'll have toe covers and gloves, and that is all I will use because it will warm up. If you can work through that little chill for the first 5 to 20 minutes, roughly, I think you're going to be okay. And if you put too much on, you're going to overheat. And part of what I really wanted to stress too is as you go out on this bike, and it can be a little bit cooler to start, don't let that deter you from getting your nutrition plan started right away. Really important to get that going. A lot of people will see that it's cold and the sun is not quite out or is warm, and they'll skip fueling times. And then when they get to the run, the sun is like beaming and it gets warm, high 60s, almost low 70s, and they are underfueled and underhydrated. And that's where it catches up with them. So be adamant about that 10 to 15 minute consistent fueling right from the start. So you come down here onto the bike course. All the spectators, good place for spectators right here because you'll see the bike go out and bike come back in right here. Okay, let's go to the bike. I love this bike course. 56 miles, 2,600 feet. I've had 2,400 feet. I've had 2,700 feet. It's somewhere in the realm. Don't get caught up with that. It's just a number. The most important thing is you want to know the profile of the course. And then I think right down here. You can see I would take the first, 28, 29 miles conservatively. You're going to want to fly, but the meat of the climbing is in the back half. It starts with this big 12% grade climb right here. I think it's about a half a mile. I can't remember. Nice little descent. And then you get to this 5.5, 6 mile average 2% climb. And I have it on my Strava file here. So it's this climb right here. It's just relentless. And it ends with this 10%. Yeah, pretty steep towards the end here. So this is let's go here, the Basilone full climb right there, 5.66 miles, almost 600 feet of elevation, 2% grade average. That's a pretty long climb, pretty steady. You're coming off this big one right here, pretty steep. Look at that 12%. That's your second climb. You descend out of that, and then you have this little punchy climb again. Again, look at that 12%. Um, it's actually pretty fun, this descent into this climb. It's actually really fun. And then once you get here, to this 40, 41 mile mark, this little ascent, it's downhill and false flat, I would say. It looks flat here with a little gentle rise here. I'd say false flat. Sometimes that wind is in your face and it makes it feel more challenging than it should be. But I can say once you get past that 40 miles, game on. It's time to race. You've got 16 miles to go. Most of the race is behind you. And if you've paced appropriately according to your coach and the guidelines that they shared with you, and you held back enough, you will be able to torch that back 16 miles. However, if you've gone out a little too hard, it may be a little bit more challenging. And that's the art of racing, right? Finding your limit, finding that sweet zone between pushing enough and being able to run off the bike. And for a lot of us, we're in that uh, curiosity, like just how hard can I push before I go too much? And if you're in that element of racing, fantastic. But if you're in the capacity that you just want to finish the race and you really want to have a good experience and you want to be solid and save something for the run, pace appropriately on the bike and wait to the last 16, 15 miles here, and then you can let it fly. So that's the bike. Uh, Pretty straightforward. You can even see it more clearly here. Here's one climb, two climb, and then the third climb. So that's what everybody talks about. If you've done the training, if you've practiced with hills, awesome. If you haven't, really, really slip into your easiest gear on these climbs. and keep it at an effort that's steady. No spiking of the heart rate. Keep it really steady and don't race the other cyclists. There's going to be people pumping by you, either seated or standing. Let them race their race. You are not them. You are you. And the only way to be the best version of you is to be the best version of you by staying within you. You're not them. Otherwise, you'd be the second best version of them, and we don't want that. So be the best version of yourself. So that's the bike. I highly encourage you to fuel often. Take a water bottle or get some water in at every aid station and then drop the water bottle as you leave and have a blast. Um, and here is the most favorite part of the course, this run. So, like I said, you come back in off the bike, you're going to come back into transition around the same whole transition area. Same thing. You're going to come all, well, actually, they probably have it on the bike here. Oh, they just have the finish. Yeah, so you'll finish the bike and then you have to go all the way around again, the transition, and come back in to wreck your back bike. Wreck your bike, get your run stuff on, and then head out and have an awesome, awesome run. This course, 400 feet of elevation. Uh, it is fast, deceivingly fast. You're gonna leave transition, you're gonna go up this hill right here. Let's see if it goes up. Yeah, you're gonna go up this hill. You're gonna feel so good. You're gonna be like, this is awesome. Go over the bridge. You're gonna see lots of people. You're gonna go down, run along the strand, all flat, tons and tons of people there. Then you're gonna go up the pier, then around, actually go up the pier, up over onto North Pacific, run by the hotel, the Top Gun motorcycle, and then you're gonna pop back down. I forget what road that is. I don't know if they're gonna say it here. Might be Wisconsin or Michigan. Can't remember. Doesn't matter. It's an awesome downhill. You want to descend and bomb that as you turn down back onto the strand, all the way on the strand, flat, flat, tons of people. Then you're going to go up Wisconsin. Oh, so that other one was, I think, Michigan. So you're going to go up Wisconsin here. This is a pretty steep hill. Where are we over here? All right, right there. You can kind of see that little hill. And that's what Oceanside is famous for, is these little punchy climbs. And then it's a zoom out here. You've kind of got like a steady uphill, and then you have this nice descent by Buccaneer Beach uh, right here. And then you're going to go up this hill. Is it too? Oh, yeah, right here. Right there. Up the hill. Pretty flat rolling, I would say. You're going to come past Cassidy. This starts to go downhill a little bit. You make this left turn to come onto South Myers. This is a slow up slant. I would say it's a false flat, sort of goes up. But once you get around this turn, the turnaround, you can bomb down this section. It isn't that steep. But as you come around here, you're going to go up this little hill here. Again, lots of people back into town. You've got the hill by Buccaneer, which is right here. This is a pretty nice climb. If you just keep a steady pace and don't overextend yourself, don't spike your heart rate, you're going to be successful. Stay within yourself. Remember, we're still on the first lap. You got to do this all again. Down Pacific, love this stretch. You can take a left back down Wisconsin. You can fly again down this hill, burying a right onto the strand. You take the strand all the way back to this hill right here. I think that's oh, is that Sea Gaze? Oh yeah, maybe it's Sea Gaze that comes all the way down. So up Sea Gaze, this one's a ripper. And if you want some energy, the Yogi Triathlete crew will be right here at the corner. We love being right there, cheering people on as they bomb down the hill and as they crawl their way up. This is a pretty steep one, but it's short. Left onto North Pacific, back onto the pier, down under the pier, back out the strand. You pick up a lot of energy here, guys. Uh, the row of houses, great place to take photos. those pink houses. Then you run back up, breakaway. This is uphill, turn left. And now you're preparing for the turnaround. So you come all the way back here. The turnaround is right here. Let's see if they, where's the little guy? I don't see it. Oh yeah, there we go. So, oh, they have the turnaround right there. That's not, the turnaround is right here, uh, at the intersection of South Harbor and North Pacific, and has been traditionally in the past. I think this is a little different. But yeah, you run back out here, and you're not going to go all the way into the harbor. You actually turn around right here and back along the same path, down this hill onto the Strand. You're going to run the Strand again, my favorite stretch, up the pier, up onto North Pacific again. And that pier hill is no joke. And also, as you make a turn to go back up to North Pacific here, that's no joke as well. So you're going to be gassed a little bit. Use your breath, stay calm. You got this. If you don't have a mantra, I highly, highly encourage you to get that practice now. Think about something that will pull your attention away from the distractions that are outside of you onto something that's focus, that's calm. Be here now is a great mantra. Be here now. If you really focus on it, you have to be there now to say those words. You have to actually understand the words, which is to actually be here. When the mind is thinking, how long do I have to go? How much effort? How much this hurts? My legs are hurting. Am I going to see my friends, my family? All of that stuff is pulling your attention away from the task at hand, which is to stay focused. When we are present, we are 100% available. So get those mantras going. Run down North Pacific, bomb down the hill again, along the Strand, and you go back and do the second loop. Um, I really think as you go out on that second loop, you take audit after the first loop and you tell yourself, I think it's a pivotal moment if you're looking for a PR to say, now I need to really push it these next 6.5 miles, or I need to hold steady. And if you have gone out too hard, you're probably just going to suffer a little bit. But in the suffering and in the challenge, as you know, we grow the most. So um, pace appropriately. So South Pacific all the way back out. I will say the second loop can be fun if you paced appropriately. Come down by Buccaneer, up that hill, and now here we go. Game on. You're going to go back out Eaton Street to South Myers. Once you get to that turnaround, you are 2.5 miles from the finish. That is the time to let it rip. It's not down the finisher chute. If you want those performances that you've always craved, that you really think um, that you're really capable of, waiting to the end is the safe route. And if you always take the safe route, there's nothing wrong with that. But in my experience, you already know what that safe route is. You already know what that experience is like. And to get to the next level that you earnestly feel deep inside is something that you're capable of. This is one of those moments to have an experience and you stay curious and open to the possibilities because the mind will immediately default to what's comfortable. And if you practice always running fast down that last 100 meters or 200 meters, saving it for that, that is what you will most often do when it gets challenging because the mind will seek comfort when it is in discomfort. So, in order to get that next level of performance, it's an opportunity to embrace the discomfort, get to know it, and become familiar with it. And the more that you do that, then you begin to build your relationship with it, and then you begin to move beyond it. So I recommend to our athletes at 2.5 miles, it is go time. You run down here, really pick up momentum. By this time, you've gotten all your fuel in, you've paced appropriately, your mindset is strong, you've got your mantra flowing, and it's about get me to the finish line as fast as possible, not waiting for the final 100 to 200 meters. So have an experience, have a race. This is racing. Last 2.5 miles, go give it. This little hill incline here, then you kind of levels out until you come back to Buccaneer Beach, down this big descent, carry that momentum up this hill. And once you're up this hill, right about here, Witherby, it's go. Like it's go time. If you haven't already gone, hopefully you've already gone. And then you just ride that high. You get into your rhythm, you get your focus, you keep your eyes on the prize. You go down Wisconsin along the Strand, and by now you are already running as fast as you can. You're not saving it for the last 100 meters, but you're passing people because all these people have waited for the last 100 meters to actually let it fly, but not you. You let it fly way out there at 2.5 miles. Come into the finish. Make sure during the finish you are hamming it up. Give high fives, smile, come across that finish line with some gratitude, some appreciation for this amazing body and mind that just completed this 70.3 Ironman race, and that you've been gifted the opportunity to showcase that you're capable of everything that you dream of. I mean, that's why we're here and that's why we do these things. Um, Plant the seeds for the future, and that happens with allowing yourself to be great now, to be better now. Like now is the time. So I hope you guys well, have a great race, and I'll see you at the finish line. I'll be hanging out. Our dog, Clark, we have a golden retriever. Look for him. I will have my Yogi Triathlete kit there. I would love to meet and greet anybody who recognizes our kit and community and come say hi. We'd love to meet you. Um, and with that, we will be doing yoga on Friday at 8 a.m. Right here at the Half Shell, right in the village area. So come join us for that, because actually it's right here, Rotary Park. Um, Come join us for that, because even if you don't do yoga, all levels are welcome. Supporters, family, athletes, non-athletes, just come and be in the energy and the good vibration of um, calm, because yoga is the science of the mind. Yes, there are poses, but what we do is we match movement with breath. And this is the same thing you're going to do on race day. When the intensity arises in the body, you're able to pull your attention and awareness to your breath, which is the anchor to presence. And there's nothing outside of you that you need. You don't have headphones. You don't need to queue up Netflix or something, YouTube, something outside of you. You can tap into your breath. That's you. The breath is with you all the time. And if you pay attention to it, it will root you in that moment, and you can begin to experience and feel more calm. That is the pathway, that is the key, and that is what we teach at Yogi Triathlete. So when we do this yoga practice at 8 a.m. on Friday, April 4th, um, we're just going to breathe and move. Light, gentle movement, but matching it with breath and paying attention. So we'd love to see you, and have a great race out there. If you have more questions or comments, let me know. Just comment below this video. And I always love doing these and sharing insight and perspective. Now you take all this information, put it into your magical stew, and then you have your own experience and interpretation of the race. And that's what I really truly hope for all of you, is to have your own magical experience out there and awakening as to what you truly are capable of. Because I can share how much I believe in you, but the work is in how much you tap into that belief, that self-belief that you already have and you know exists deep down inside. You can rise that up to the surface and watch the miracles that happen. Thanks so much.